Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park, and this is episode 26 of my Let's Play series. So I hope you're all keeping well and having a nice day. So what I've done, I've finally done it. I've ticked the box in the Enhanced Animal System mod. It was about time, wasn't it? So yeah, the box is ticked. It's now activated and running on this save. Now, I did have a look at it on the mod hub. I've had the mod installed on the game for ages. I obviously didn't have it activated on this game, but I just had a quick peruse in the mod hub just to read the text and get a bit of an idea of what it brings to the game. And now that I've got it running, goodness, honestly, it just made my brain melt. It's quite early in the morning here as I'm recording this, so I suppose technically I'm not fully awake yet. So when I was reading all the literature, all the details, it was like, my word. This really does bring a wealth of stuff to the game for the animals. So instead of just trying to learn that at this time of the morning, I thought I would just jump into the game before I activated it and just jot down a few numbers and then activate the mod and jot down the numbers afterwards, just for regarding the daily and yearly intake of foods for the 3 animals that we have on this farm: the chickens, the sheep, and the cows. So, where are we? I'll start with the cows because they're probably the most important ones. They're the ones who obviously take the most amount of food at the minute. So before the mod was activated, I've got the animal feed overview, I think it's called, where it gives you it gives you a numerical value for the daily and the yearly intake of foods. The cows were taking in per day 5,005 litres of food, and yearly they were taking in 131,500. Now that the mod's installed, that number has increased daily to 21,233 and yearly to 550,133. So it's a considerable increase. It's essentially, give or take a bit without being like incredibly accurate, it's 4 times more per day essentially. The sheep before would take in 3,370 litres a day and 93,660 litres a year, and they now intake 10,520 litres a day and 284,140 litres a year. So, a considerable increase on both of those. The one that has actually gone the other way, strangely, is chickens. Before the mod was installed, they had a daily intake of 352 litres and a yearly of 8,460. Now, that number is 325 litres a day for the chickens and 8,131 litres a year in total. So that's a bit odd, isn't it? But you know what, I'm not fussed about that. The chickens are just what they are. They just produce eggs. They don't take a lot of maintenance, so that's just fine with me. And also what it has done, it's increased the value in the cows, at least anyway. I only used one of the age groups as a reference point for the cows. I picked the 32-month old cows. Before the mod was activated, they had a value of 1,500 quid. After the mod, they're worth 2 grand. So a few quid increase in that. But when it comes to the sheep, it went the other way. The 27-month-old sheep before the mod were worth 775 quid, and after, now that it's installed, they're worth 250. So it's one of them swings and roundabouts. I'm not too fussed about the value of the animals as it is anyway, but I do need to get a bit of a grip on what all that means. But what I have done, I appreciate that I can buy calves and I can buy all the different types of cows and breeds and age groups and stuff. But the one thing I did want to do is I wanted a bull. So there he is, sticking his ass in the milk tanker for some reason. But yeah, mighty beast. There he is, the new addition to the pasture. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Right, anyway, so yeah, that's that. And I did that because obviously the bales have fermented from the last cut of grass that we did. These are now fully done. And it's obviously going to change my my outlook on what I do with these things, because obviously, as any of you who've watched previous episodes will know, because of the slow intake of food that the cows have had, I have been able to essentially top them up with 1 or 2 bales at that particular moment, and then I was able to afford to just stick them all on a trailer and go and sell them and make a load of money from them. But now that they're all going to be eating a lot more, I'm pretty much going to need to keep hold of everything, so I'm not just going to be able to flog them and make a load of money. I'm going to be keeping hold of these now, and I need to stock up, essentially. The grass field is ready to... It is technically ready to cut now, but I need to... I'm going to be waiting for the next growth stage, just so I can make sure that I can get as much as I can out of this field. And I am going to be logging logging what we get from this field. So obviously, as we know, the next cut of grass will technically be cut 1, because this was re-drilled. And I'm going to be jotting it down on a bit of paper that hopefully I won't lose, just to keep an accurate log of how many bales we get in cut 1, cut 2 and cut 3. So yeah, that's that. I have I've topped up the feed mixer here, ready to give the cows another chunk of food, and what I also have done is I've purchased a couple of pallets of mineral feed, just to make sure I was doing it to give them as best food as possible. One of them has already gone into the feed mixer here, and I kind of worked out the best ratio for me anyway. Oh, it works the same for anyone who uses this, but I've used 2 bales of silage, 1 bale of hay, and then I topped the rest up with a percentage of a bale of straw and a pallet of mineral feed. So this is now 100% full of total mixed ration. And let's start it up actually. Yeah, it's 100% full, and as you can see there from the help menu in the top left corner, we've got a pretty decent ratio of everything in here. So we're going to chuck it in, get these fed. So hopefully that'll keep them topped up for the day. Although, hang on, if we look at where's this thing here now? So if I was to get them, I don't think I know exactly until it's done, obviously, exactly how many litres they're going to have in their trough. But if these now take in a daily intake of 21,000, give or take, there's a couple of days. There's what, 4 days worth of food, 4 or 5 days worth of food in the trough here. So I do need to keep on top of it now and keep my eye on it a lot more than I have been doing. So yeah. So anyway, that's that. Apologies for the long waffle there. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm glad I've finally done it. Hey, cows are running. Yeah, I'm glad I've done it now. So anyway, what we're doing today, I haven't actually got a clue. I think what I might have to do is, now that I'm not going to be making money very easily from selling the silage bales or anything like that, we've got a few pallets of honey to sell. We've got a little bit of wool, nothing worth selling at all, of course, that they've only started producing a little bit, a couple of pallets at the minute. But obviously, since the addition of the animal mod, we've got lambs now. There they are. The sheep that were the youngest in the pasture, that you couldn't really tell the difference by looking at them because they all just look the same. But yeah, now we've got some lambs. I'm sure any of you who have been using this mod for a while, this won't be new to you at all, so forgive me if it's not particularly interesting, but it's kind of cool for me. I've not had these guys before. So yeah, we've now got some lambs in the pasture, and I've now got a big bull in the cow pasture, so that's pretty cool. Nothing's really changed much for the chickens. I don't think I've got any chicks or anything like that in the... I'll go and have a look, actually. Let's have a wander round and go and have a look. But I'm almost certain that there isn't. I didn't really bother logging any difference in the value of the chickens or anything like that, because it didn't really seem to make too much of a difference. I don't think I've got any chicks here. No. Be interested to see if I do have some when they do reproduce, but keep my eye on that anyway. Right, so anyway, what's going on today? I suppose I need to have a look at the contract menu, because now that we have, obviously now that I've got to pay more attention to the amount of silage I've got on the farm, any silage contracts we take on, and any residual bales we may earn from those contracts, I think it's going to be much wiser for me to start keeping hold of them as opposed to just flogging them for extra money. Obviously I might be able to at 1 or 2 points in the future. If I've got a good chunk of silage here and I can afford to sell a few, then I will, of course, but initially I need to focus on... I need to get some more money in. We're only at just over 13.5 grand at the minute, but it would be a good idea to consider keeping hold of whatever we get left over from contracts, especially hay as well. We're gonna when it comes to harvest time here on the farm, I'll be able to stock up on my own straw. We've got what we got there, 2, 4. We've got 6 bales, although this one's half a bale, I think. What are they? 7,500 litres, but this one's at 3,265 because the other half went into the feed mixer. But yeah, I could do with topping up with hay and a bit of straw that we'll, obviously, as I say, we'll get from our harvest come harvest time. So yeah, tedding contracts and silage contracts, that's what I need to focus on now, I think. So I think I'm gonna pop into the menu, I'm gonna see what there is, and I'll join you back in a few minutes, hopefully having taken 1 or 2 on. Right then, I've taken on a handful of contracts, 4 of them to be precise. Fields 22, 23, 24 and 25, because they are all right next door to each other. 3 of them are tedding contracts and 1 of them is a silage contract. I think it's 22, 23 and 25 are the hay, the tedding contracts, and 24 is the silage contract. And I know, I'm pretty sure that all of these fields I've done before, but it tends to be the case with this map anyway, that most of the grasswork contracts tend to appear on the same fields that you've done before, pretty much. Once it's a grass field, it's a grass field. So I figured it would be a wise idea, seeing as they're all so closely put together, that I'd get I'm going to get the tedding done first. So at the minute we've got the mower on the front of here and the tedder is on the back. I don't want to turn around just yet, just in case anything's coming around the corner, but no, we're all right there. So yeah, there we are, tedder. So I'm going to throw all these 4 jobs into one cinematic, and get them all done in that way. And I shall pick you all back up. It's going to be in quite a while's time actually, getting all these done and finished off. They're all going to tall trees bales, the sell point. In fact, let me just check that, but I know all the hay ones are. Where are we? Yeah, tall trees, and tall trees. Yes, all 4 of them are. So, yeah, I'm going to get this compiled into a cinematic, and hopefully, when we're done, we should have a decent amount of bales left over to stockpile into our farm. So, I'll see you all in a wee while.
Let me know, do you feel me too? Let it show, babe, I'm into you. We've been on and off, in and out, up and down, too many times. Now it's time, show me what you got. Some say that it's the little things, I say that it's a big old ring. Anything to hear you say
Right. There we go. All jobs done. I've got a few extra silage bales from all that. Let me just concentrate on... There we go. There we go. Right. Let's turn that off for a minute, shall we? Okay, so we have now got, relatively neatly stacked in the corner here, 43 silage bales. We had 25, we've just got 18 from that one field 24 I think it was. And we got, across all 3 tedding contracts, we got an extra 12 hay bales. So if I just quickly jog around to show you again my neatly stacked stack of hay bales in the corner. Done them 3 high as I have with the silage. Need to sort of, well, we're going to get a few more straw bales as come harvest time, aren't we? So I'll wait till we get there before I'm neating those ones up. And I may well shift these headers out of here and just call this the, you know, just the bale area, I suppose, for straw and hay. But we'll see how we get on. So yeah, we've not done bad out of that. It did take me quite a while to get all those jobs done, I must admit. There was a lot of backing and doing various different tractors and bits of equipment, obviously. But we've now got a decent stock of silage to fall back on. Well, it's a reasonable stock anyway for now. It's not going to last forever, of course, now that the cows are chewing through things a little bit faster. The cows and the bull, as it were. Although these do need a little bit more mucking out. I need to get onto that, don't I? So, oh, and this needs a clean. Do you know what? We're going to go and do that right away, actually, because I have... since doing the contracts, I've come back and I've tidied all the equipment away and I've give everything a wash and stuff. So this is the only thing left to clean now, I think. So chuck it in front of the jet washer and just throw a bit of water on it. There we go. Give this a bit of a spruce up. But what I think I'm going to do now, I am going to. We've got about 15 pallets of lettuces that are sat in front of the foil tunnels. Now, I know, again, I think I've done this once or twice already. I'm not going to sell lettuces at the optimum point, so I'll just, because of how many get produced, I'll just end up with stacks and stacks of pallets, so I'm just going to sell them when the foil tunnels are, or when the outside of them are full anyway, so that'll do for there. So yeah, I'm going to need to jump in something and go pick up some lettuce pallets. And just take them to whoever's paying the most for them at the current time. So let's get this thing parked up over here for a minute. We're going to need to jump back in this at some point to muck out the cows again. But I think we'll jump in the TW35. Get it hooked up to the bale trailer, go pick up some lettuces, figure out where to take them to, and I shall see you all there in a few minutes. And hopefully we'll have a few more pounds. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. One thing off just before I do that. I need to turn in all 4 contracts, don't I? So let's... there we go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not bad at all. We're now at 48 grand. We had 13. So that's 35, I think. That'll do. That'll do indeed. Not a bad number. Although, as I say, it was, what, probably 4 hours, I think it took me in total to get all of those done. Amongst dealing with things in real life as well, I suppose. But, yeah. Considering those 4 hours or so of work, I managed to squeeze into what, 3 and a bit minute segment of cinematic. Right, anyway, let's get round here. As I say, I'm pretty sure I think there's about 3. I don't think there's 4 outside each tunnel. There's definitely 3. Yeah. We may as well get them sold, get a little bit more money in the bank. Oops. So, I'll get all these loaded up. I'll figure out where I'm taking them to, and I shall pick you all back up in a few moments. Do you know what? I figured while I was at it, I may as well empty the honey pallet rack as well, and make space for some more, because it's going to be a constant thing. So, let's get all this lot strapped on. We're going to take everything here to the farmer's market, because that seems to be paying reasonable top dollar at the minute. Is that everything? There we go. I'm not sure I've actually been to the farmer's market yet. So, let's see if I can get myself around this corner this time without getting stuck. Just need to take it a little bit wider. And maybe a bit slower as well. A little bit too wide on that. There we go. Right, off to market. Right, here we are. This is the farmer's market. I've definitely not been to this one yet, actually. That's obviously the animal dealer. I think it must be this one here, because... yeah. Right. Let's see what we get for this lot, shall we? Please do it all in one go. Why is that honey pallet just sitting there on its own? There we go. Okay, so what we got there? 10,600 plus 702 plus 92. 11,000 and a bit. I think I need to move over slightly to the right here, don't I, for some reason. There we go. There we go. Well, you're taking your time, aren't you? $865. I'll call it 900. So 10,600 plus 700. 11,300. 400. So somewhere around 11 and a half. That's what we got for all of that, which will do me just fine. So we're now sitting very nicely again at just over £60,000. We started the episode off with 13. We've got a much bigger pile of silage to fall back on now, which we're actually going to use and not just sell to make money. And we've got a bigger stack of hay bales as well, which is excellent. So, I'm not too sure there's going to be a huge amount more going on in this episode, if I'm honest. I'm just waiting for next month now when we can sell our soybeans, and then we're waiting for harvest time, which is in the coming months. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back to the farm now. Pretty much just check that everything's as it should be, and then it may well be the end of this episode. So I'll catch you over there in a few minutes. Right, let's get this thing reversed in here. Get it disconnected. But yeah, I've just had a quick, brief look around, and we're pretty much sorted, I think, for this episode. We're now... let me just turn this off, actually, so I'm not talking over the engine. We're now pretty much waiting on June, which is next month, so that we can sell the soybeans that we have in the silo, get a bit of money from that, and then it's going to be July, I think, when we're going to get our first harvest. Now, a good chunk of that harvest, potentially the wheat, we obviously, in the last episode, we made the wonderful purchase of now owning the grain mill. So whatever we do harvest in July, at least the first bit anyway, we're going to be throwing a lot of that into the grain mill over there. That one there. Our new production system, so that we can make some flour, and hopefully that should bring in more money than just selling the crop on its own at optimum selling time. So, looking forward to that, very much so. So yeah, but I think I'm going to knock it in the head for this episode. We've now got a bull somewhere in there. Where is he? There he is. You can tell him a mile away, can't you? He's just got that really big, thick neck and those big horns. Hey up, pal. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm not going to mess with you. But yeah, we've got the bull. We've got some actual lambs now instead of just sheep of different age, but no visual difference. We're sitting on a reasonable amount of money again, which is awesome. These guys need mucking out again, don't they? I need to sort that out. But yeah, I think this episode. Forgive me that it has been a few minutes shorter than what I normally make. I think we're probably just knocking on the door of around about 30 minutes here. So, but yeah, either way, I do hope you've enjoyed the episode and found it a little bit of fun and a bit interesting. Thanks again for watching, everybody. If you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I do things, please hit that subscribe button if you can. Hit the like button on the video, and if any of you have got any comments or suggestions for me, by all means, leave something for me in the comments section below. And as always, having relatively recently become a Giants partner, there will, if any of you are in the market for a DLC or a season pass or an add-on or the game itself, there will be a link in the video description below with my promo code. If any of you fancy helping out a content creator, I would be hugely appreciative. So thanks again for watching, everybody. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next video.